good comms between the core and the crew. And again, we are just a couple minutes away from drogue parachutes deploying. And just under a minute after the drogue parachutes deploy, and currently you can see on your screen that they are reconfiguring their seats. So you can see that the seats are rotating down, and that is happening live right now in preparation for splashdown.
Got brace for drogue window.
And looked like the seat rotation was completed, and now they are ready for those drogue parachutes to deploy. What you're seeing on your screen is a live view of the Dragon capsule returning back to Earth. And there you can see the drogue parachutes have deployed in a cool view from the capsule itself. And shortly after, we should see the 4 main chutes deploy here.
Visual on 2 healthy drogues and descent rate nominal.
And excellent call-outs there.
You see the same, Arthur?
And we do have visual confirmation that the drogues have deployed. Now just waiting for the 4 main parachutes to deploy as well. And there you can see on your screen, 4 mains have deployed. They will begin to slowly open up and help slow the vehicle down. The vehicle is approximately moving at 119 miles per hour, and the main chutes deployed at 6,500 feet. And there's an awesome view from the capsule itself, looking up at the 4 main chutes.
4 healthy mains and descent rate nominal.
Copy. We show ourselves at 1,000 meters.
Copy 1,000.
Got some good call-outs there. And just a few minutes away from the Axiom 3 crew splashing down back on Earth here.
SpaceX Dragon, 800 meters.
Copy 800.
To Earth. More reliable than landing on land. And there you can see an awesome view.
It's beautiful.
The Dragon capsule, Dragon Freedom, carrying AX-3 as it's
400.
Slowly making its way to splashdown.
Now, these are absolutely fantastic views that we got at acquisition of signal, Jesse. It was incredible coming back from AOS to see those good comm checks, those good visual confirmations of the vehicle coming in, and then the visual confirmations of the first drogue chutes, which deployed beautifully, and followed by the main chutes. And additionally, we got to see crew even rotate their seats to prepare for splashdown. All of these are
200. Crew brace for splashdown.
Copy. Braced for splashdown.
Splashdown.
Copy splashdown. We are with you in 4.800.
Copy.
And an excellent sight to see. Welcome home, AX3.
Arthur, all the observations from
As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation of splashdown of the Dragon spacecraft. Dragon Freedom has returned home with the AX3 crew.
Dragon SpaceX, can you repeat your last call? It cut out for post-splashdown observations.
nominal.
Copy nominal.
Some excellent views of the Dragon capsule there. The SpaceX recovery ship and team have been waiting for Dragon splashdown, and they will now begin to make their way to the splashdown
SpaceX
location.
confirm environmental assessment is not necessary.
SpaceX confirms. Not necessary.
Some good comms there. The teams have been ready and waiting about 3 nautical miles away, so it's going to take them. They will begin to watch, and the crew. These are some great daytime and recovery crew to come pick them up.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely picture-perfect splashdown, and these views are really highlighting that. And it's not just beautiful; it's an essential tool for ensuring that we keep eyes on this Dragon, right? But you can't deny that being able to watch, get confirmation of parachute deploy, get visual confirmation of the vehicle coming in, and then seeing that landing, in addition to commanders for Shannon their way as.
Speaking of fast boats, that was pretty fast. They're just about.
Than anticipated.
And out to Dragon. They will actually climb onto the Dragon capsule, perform some safety checks of the capsule.
We heard Emily is ready to kind of press into the next phase of operation in fast boat, which is doing its work, but also while Shannon's coming up right behind them.
Inside of Dragon Freedom, now splashed down on Earth, the recovery team is performing their recovery operations. Again, just waiting for them to perform some safety checks.
Beautiful execution.
They undocked from the International Space Station a couple of days ago and are now back on Earth. The recovery crew, again, performing their recovery operations. These are standard procedures. They're currently making sure that the vehicle is safe. Then we should see one of the crew members hop on board the Dragon capsule and begin operations to prepare the capsule for lifting onto the recovery vessel.
Alegria and pilot Walter. And at this point, they are maintaining that contact and just ensuring that the area is safe, that the vehicle is safe to continue those.
But these fast boats, and we did see. What you're seeing is a live view of the AX3 crew inside of Dragon Freedom, patiently waiting for their recovery operations. They have made their way back down to Earth, and the recovery team is working their standard procedures in preparation for lifting
their visors are
that
health checks, on a medical check. Weeks in orbit, right? 23.
Dragon. Clear. To the PM.
the recovery team. Excellent view.
Was looking fantastic. We talked about training earlier too, and operations like this, perfect recovery effort.
Well, it may look and honestly, the recovery team must be just as excited as the crew. They're going to be the first
End of it. In the Atlantic.
helicopter.
We are
hearing a little bit of calm there between Core and Commander Lopez Alegria on Dragon Freedom, waiting to establish some communication so that they can talk with SpaceX medical surgeon. But during that time, the Dragon. I think what's amazing about this shot, Jesse, is it looks like it's all so simple. And the care and precision that has to go into this operation from all of the teams that you see, that you can't even see in this shot, that are supporting this type of operation.
You know, a lot of into to put Dragon next to a platform that will make it much easier for the crew to egress the Dragon capsule.
Right, and once they egress, they'll be greeted by SpaceX and Axiom medical professionals to just ensure that, you know, hey, we just want to make sure you're doing okay, everything's going all right. Do those first initial checks, and then at that point, crew is able to step out and take their first steps too, for the first steps in a number of weeks.
Yeah, very, very exciting. Again, very cool that the crew on board this recovery vessel gets to be the first to greet the crew after they've been in space for a few weeks.
Dragon SpaceX, brace for capsule lift.
Bracing.
And a nice big jump into the ocean for the recovery crew, completing their rigging operations. And Dragon Freedom being lifted onto recovery vessel Shannon. I love that they mentioned to brace for the lift.
Yeah.
You could see that the vehicle is moving and swaying a little bit,
Yep.
but I'm sure it was nothing compared to reentry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cruise had a lot of dynamic operations associated with today, and this is one of the final ones. There's a few more that have to go into play before they're back on land. But this moment of getting them finally back out of the water and into this nest situated while they're comfortable is a wonderful moment for the AX-3 crew.
And a great choreographed lift there. Gently setting down the Dragon capsule onto the nest.
It's important for this point, too, right after that lift, to kind of orient it just right so that it's ready for that translation maneuver you talked about, while also ensuring that, crew is staying in a comfortable, well-oriented position so that egress operations are as smooth as they can be.
The crew just at the bottom.
In the Atlantic Ocean.
You can see the recovery crew there just preparing the vehicle in preparation for that side hatch opening. Is right behind that, the recovery crew and the medical crew, they're waiting there for them.
Right, and these are those initial checks that we talked about. The first people that the crew is greeted by is by the medical teams to just ensure that they're doing well after their flight and after their return home, and they'll make some medical assessments and make sure they're okay. And at that point, crew is egressing the vehicle and onto that helicopter ride back home. And there is the hatch opening. Welcome home, crew of AX-3.
Now that that side hatch is open, they are going to put a protective tool there to ensure that the crew is safe when they egress the vehicle. And their first human interaction with
that everything. A few Smiling, of course, as they have been since launch day on January 18th.
Some great waves. You can see their very excited faces there. That was awesome.
That was a wonderful shot. That was a wonderful shot. Getting thumbs up there between ground crews. Ground crew drive. And it looks like they are ready to proceed.
Again. And you can see there that they've installed basically a protective tool around the hatch, the side hatch, as well as a little bit of a ramp there so that the crew can safely egress. They are still in their suits and also need to protect the suits themselves. So we will make sure that the suits do not get damaged as they're egressing. You'll see that the recovery crew there will help them exit, may put their hand over their helmet just to make sure that they don't bump their head. And there's a few people there to help them, which is great.
Right, and like we mentioned, this is their first moment back on Earth, and over in 23 days, gravity is going to be a familiar but reminder of an experience. And so, coming out of this hatch, you know, it's it may seem and look simple, but there are some nuances associated with it, with wearing that suit that you want to protect for, with also protecting for just your mobility coming back from this mission with its mission duration. You certainly want to be aware of their first time back in gravity in a while. So all of those translation aids really help ensure that when they're getting out of the vehicle, they're doing it as safely as possible, but also as comfortably as they. And I do think I see a smile on that face. And a wave. A wave and a thumbs up. Walter is feeling good.
Welcome home, Walter Vilade.
First steps in gravity, make sure that he's going to be safely egressing the vehicle. Welcome home, Marcus. And again, visor up, and I think, of course, we're going to see Marcus smiling. Yeah, we are. Okay.
There we go. Some waves.
He's giving his wave. Marcus is feeling good. This is excellent to see. Crew's going to assist as we take those first steps back in gravity. The first Turkish astronaut to fly to space. Alper is looking good. He's excited. He's excited. He's ecstatic. He's happy to be home. He's giving excellent smiles and a great fist bump there. I love to see that.
And last but definitely.
And even with that frequent flyer card, MLA is no stranger to this maneuver, but he is also taking his time, and he is looking good. And welcome back, MLA. Excellent. It is wonderful to see all 4 crew members of AX3 egress comfortably and safely out of the Dragon Freedom that they've spent their time in for the last 2 days, certainly, but also just a number of days on this mission.